The process of making a safe, secure split tank divider may seem daunting at first, but don't worry, it's simpler than it seems, and I'll be helping you through the step-by-step process in this video. There's also a written version of this guide available to download in the description if that's an easier format for you. So first, we'll need to gather our supplies. We'll need a tank or tub that you plan to use for the split tank. This can be any size, and you can either use a glass tank or a plastic tub, as long as the plastic has completely smooth sides with no ridges that they could chew. We'll also need some Gerbil safe strip wood for the divider frame. I used oak for mine. Some other good options are beech, birch, aspen or poplar. Next is some fine mesh. I used 6mm mesh to make sure they couldn't bite each other through it, but anything less than 1 cm would keep them secure. Then we'll need measuring tape, a pencil, a saw, a heavy-duty staple gun in staples, some wire cutters, and a pair of thick gardening gloves to protect your hands while working with the wire. They also come in handy for the split tank process itself. I used full leather gloves so my entire hands would be protected. We'll also need a workbench or somewhere to safely secure the wood, as well as some PVA glue and a hot glue gun with glue sticks. And if you want to protect your hard work from pea stains, you'll also need some pet safe sealant such as Plasticoat. Now, we don't want to just cut wood at random, so we first need to measure the inside of our tanks. We'll need to know the width along the top and bottom, as well as the height. If you're using a plastic tub for your split, then you'll need to measure both the top and the bottom lengths. Plastic tubs are designed to stack, so the bottom will be slightly narrower than the top. And once you've got your measurements, we need to mark the wood for cutting. Measure out the lengths you need and mark the wood with the pencil. For the side pieces, the lengths will be your tank height minus 2 times the width of your wood strips. You'll need 4 side pieces, 2 top pieces, and 2 bottom pieces in total. If you're using a plastic tank, you'll also need to angle the top and bottom pieces slightly. I used a 93-87 degree angle for mine. They should look like this, with the angles facing inwards from your top length and outwards from your bottom length. Then use a workbench to hold the wood steady while you cut it with a saw. Next, glue the side pieces to the bottom piece using alternating PVA and hot glue. The hot glue acts like a clamp to hold the pieces together while the PVA dries for a more secure bond. Press down for a few seconds for the hot glue to dry. Then do the same to add the top piece. If you're making this for a plastic tank, then the top won't line up perfectly with the sides. Just center it on the side pieces. It'll just look a little funky. Once the hot glue is dried, add some heavy-duty staples to the front and back of each frame at the joins for extra security. Put them on opposite sides of the join for the front and back so the staples don't bump into each other. Then repeat steps 4 and 5 for the second frame. Next, lay the mesh over your frames and cut it to size. I recommend wearing your gloves for this if you want to keep your fingers intact. You'll want to leave about a 1 to 2 cm overlap to attach it to the frame. Staple the mesh square to one of your frames with a few centimeters gap between each staple. Add lines of PVA glue to the frame around the mesh, leaving small gaps for hot glue. You don't need to leave too many gaps. Hot glue dries very fast, so you can only use a little at once. Then fill in the gaps with hot glue and attach the second frame, pressing down for a few seconds for the hot glue to dry. For extra security, once the glue has started drying, add heavy-duty staples along the edges of the divider, joining the panels together. Once the divider is fully dried, check the fit in your tank. Make sure it fits and isn't too loose. You may need to sand down the edges or add extra pieces of wood to make it fit securely. I had to add feet to mine to stop it being knocked out at the bottom. I just used PVA glue to attach them. If you want, you can leave the divider as it is, but it will likely get stained with pee. To prevent this, paint the divider with pet safe sealant such as Plasticoat. I use about 4 thin coats, allowing each to dry before adding another. And once that's dry, all that's left to do is start the split tank. I'm working on a guide to help you through the step-by-step process, and once it's released, I'll leave a link here. For now, you can check out this video where I go over the mistakes I made during my first split tank attempt, which may help you learn what to avoid in your own. So, click on one of those and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching.